Fresno State Focus will show you how two businesswomen are focusing on equity and opportunity for everyone through consulting.
And voting just got a lot easier for everyone in Fresno this upcoming election. We'll show you how.
Plus, we'll take a look into the world of an MMA fighter, Paulo Elizondo, as he fights for redemption. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Myra Franco.
And I'm Kyle Mack.
Fresno State's Grapevine Magazine exhibition is honoring African Americans in the Central Valley. In honor of Black History Month, the Henry Madden Library is hosting Grapevine Magazine's African Americans in Central Valley, 1962 to 1982. Grapevine Magazine is a one-in-its-kind holding archives of African American history. The exhibit will showcase and highlight life and style from the issues of the magazine.
Alumni of Fresno State, this is absolutely excellent. And as an African American from Fresno, this is outstanding.
Grapevine Magazine captures the achievements of African Americans from the Central Valley, but also historically has captured beautiful moments that at one point were not safe to be celebrated.
With courage, faith, and hope, Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church is celebrating Black history. Within minutes, the benches were full of people ready to see the African dance showcase prepared by students from King Elementary School. It all started with the Black National Anthem. Dancers between the ages of 2 and 17 danced, showcasing their passion for their culture and history. Every child read a little bit of history of an African American person who impacted their lives.
We're trying to teach them and let them know that we had to struggle in order for them to be what they are today, and that's able to get their education, able to just drink a water from a fountain, which is sad, but it's true.
Haynes says it's important to teach spot for them.
To recognize Black History Month means to celebrate the African Americans who played a central role in U.S. history. It's also about acknowledging those who are making an impact today. Nadia Gonzalez introduces us to two women in our community who are doing just that, making an impact.
Two women with a dream and a voice are bringing their vision to life. Meet Brittany Waters and Alyssa Palmer. They have dedicated the past 2 years to building a consulting business in Fresno. With each other, they know anything is possible.
We believe that we can do whatever we set our minds to.
It's teamwork, they've found, helps bring out the best in each other.
Brittany Waters is definitely one of my heroes.
Waters uses Black History Month as an opportunity to focus on herself.
I think for me, it's been doing the work in the inside, like really taking the time to focus on like who is Brittany.
She wants this month to be a positive experience.
Really focus like on the positive versus the negativity that sometimes comes with Black History Month.
PNW Consulting focuses on resume building, coaching, and consulting. They have a goal to help their clients feel included and comfortable.
So I feel like our business is really about that. You know, we believe in equity and we believe in inclusion and diversity.
The women work in downtown Fresno in the Bitwise 41 building. They have big plans for their company, themselves, and each other this new year.
This month I do feel it's a little more enhanced because everyone is looking for us to say something and make a statement for 2020.
And help their clients make a statement too. In Fresno, Nadia Gonzalez, Fresno State Focus.
There are ways to celebrate Black History Month and the African Americans who are making a difference today. You can show support by liking and following PNW Consulting on Instagram or Facebook, or find a lot of other people with the hashtag Black History Month.
The Fresno State College of Arts and Humanities is hosting a journalism panel today.
Melissa Munoz is live at the Peters Building. Tell us what's happening, Melissa.
Yes, Myra and Kyle, I'm here at the Peters Building where a panel to talk about the power of online journalism and how can it save local news. This Roger Tatarian synopsis is organized by Professor Tim Drackless. Now, Professor Drackless, can you tell us what the panels are going to be talking about tonight?
Sure. Online journalism is the newest part of journalism, and a lot more people are going online to get their news now than used to 10 or 20 years ago. So these panelists have all been chosen because they have unique methods that they're trying to attract viewers and to deliver news. So they're going to be telling us about what innovative things they're doing to try and attract readers. And they're also going to talk about their role in providing local news content to cities.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much. And once again, the event is happening tonight from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Admission is free. Refreshments will be served. And for parking, you could go to the P6 parking lot. It is $5, but it's right across from the building. Now, live from the Peters Building at Fresno State, I'm Melissa Munoz, Fresno State Focus. Back to you, Kyle.
Thank you, Melissa. Yes, one of those journalisms is with us right now. Devin Katayama is a reporter and podcast host at KQED San Francisco. Thanks for stopping by, Devin.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. So can you tell me, what is your role at KQED?
So I host a podcast, which is about local news. It's really about stories that you see in the headlines that say something about what it means to live and work in the Bay Area. And we come out 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the episodes are about 10 to 15 minutes. But it's this new way of doing local news, especially in public media, that we're really trying out.
Very nice. How does your role tie into online journalism?
Well, I mean, podcasts are very much online, and we know that more and more people are listening to podcasts, and we know that younger audiences are listening to podcasts. So when we think about local journalism's model of sustainability, there's definitely a sense that we need to be getting younger subscribers, younger listeners to listen to public media. But there's also that whole idea that the people who are being engaged and the people who are making differences are going to be the younger generations. So how do they get their news? We're trying to fill that gap.
Do you think online journalism can save local news?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've already seen models of online journalism that have taken the place of traditional newspapers, traditional journalism. We've seen subscription model bases or subscription models pop up that have been successful in some areas. In the Bay Area, we've seen a local journalism model, Berkeley side, that's expanding now into Oakland, be very successful.
Now, we've seen journalism change a lot over the years. What changes do you see happening in the future?
Oh man, there's a lot that could possibly happen in journalism. Obviously, social media is a big space that has yet to really be figured out. So I think ways to connect with audiences on social media and ways to get news out on social media and ways to archive the conversations that are happening, I think will be very important.
Very nice. We've been talking with Devin Katayama. He'll be on the panel tonight, 5 to 7 in the Peters Room 191. Thank you for being here, Devin.
Thank you.
Myra, back to you.
An artist from Fresno created an interactive mural wall with QR codes on the Playa-Tijuana border. I talked with her about the project during her recent visit at Fresno State.
I always wanted to find a way for people to tell their stories.
A total of 12 days, 12 long hours, 15 volunteers, and one goal. Elizabeth de la Cruz Santana is a Fresno State alumna who has a passion for humanizing deportation and art.
The QR code aspect for me was the thing that had to be on the mural. People could just scan them on their phone and they're able to see these stories and share them online.
It was made to be an interactive piece of art, and it did just that.
People would come in and talk to us, and they really wanted to know why, this person was painted, and they would somewhat connect to the stories, and then they would want to paint with us too. So I think that was the most rewarding part.
The mural tells the story of 6 individuals who have faced deportation, like Andy De Leon, who is a veteran.
It's important, and I just learned about veterans, the issue that veterans are being deported.
And there are many more stories that have not been told.
I think she's doing an amazing work, especially bringing social consciousness into this political climate more than anything else. I think she's bringing a lot of light into the political crisis that's going on.
I wish that people would still consider that these stories are still going to be there after the social aspect is gone. I think it's important for people to understand that people are still crossing, people are still getting deported or detained right now.
Elizabeth has in mind a few more projects and is welcoming of any volunteers who are willing to participate in September. Elizabeth celebrated her birthday 2 weeks ago, painting on the Tijuana border wall.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, we'll show you how Fresno State celebrated the groundbreaking of the new Resnick Student Union.
Plus, see how one elementary school teacher is preparing her students, special needs students, for middle school.
And we could have some record-breaking temperatures this week. I'll have your focus on weather.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
I'm Daisy Ramirez with your focus on weather. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a beauty shot of our beautiful campus. It's a pretty good time to take a stroll. You know, there isn't a breeze today, but there is a lot of heat. Over here is our nationwide satellite. We have a lot of activity happening up here, and it's a lot of snow. Down here we do have a lot of rainfall. However, a little bit more over here in California, we do have a lot of dryness. That dryness that's happening here is due to the heat pressure coming out from all the way over here. Although there is a little bit of rain activity, could be rain activity. And then our air quality. Right now, our air quality is moderate. You do have to have a permit to burn any wood, of course. And then here in the Sequoia National Park area, it is good air quality. Now, we do have the upper 70s for Fresno, Visalia, Porterville, and the South Valley down here. A little bit in the foothills, it is in the beginning 70s and then 60s at Shaver Lake. Everything up north is in the upper 70s. Then we're going to be all in the 40s. And then on Friday, we do have a record-hitting 80-degree weather. However, on Sunday, there is a chance of sprinkles. It is going to be mostly sunny this coming Monday and Tuesday. And for today's weather, obviously, it is 79 degrees. And that is your focus on weather. Back to you, Myra.
Voters in Fresno County now have more time and more days to vote in this upcoming election. Tiburcio Alvarado introduces us to a Fresno State student who sees these changes as a way to encourage young people to vote and make their voices heard.
It's never too early to learn the importance of voting. Fresno State student and mother Stephanie Ocampo is headed to class with her daughter. This political science student is excited about this upcoming election.
Every single vote matters in local and national elections. It doesn't matter who you are voting for as long as you cast in your vote and you make a difference in our community and, well, in our country as well.
Ocampo has been involved in politics since she was in high school. She interned for politicians and at the Democratic office in Fresno. This experience made her realize that voting is important and something to celebrate.
Every single vote matters, and it was now my turn to vote because I just turned 18.
After the 2016 presidential elections, the Fresno County Board of Supervisors approved moving to the Voters' Choice Act, which is why things are busy in the warehouse. Workers get everything in place. The Voters' Choice Act makes voting more accessible with more days to cast your vote, work time allowances to vote, free postage, campus voting centers, and day of registration.
The Student Recreation Center here behind me will be used as a voting place. Students can come here, cast in the vote instead of driving to the other 53 locations in Fresno County. The county has been working very hard for this upcoming election.
There are a million things going on in our warehouse and all over our department, getting things ready, and we also have voting has already started, so we're receiving back returned ballots.
All of these changes are designed to motivate voters to vote.
What is happening right now in the world, you're going to inherit. And so you should start to make decisions and form opinions now.
Remember, it's your voice, your choice. In Fresno, Tiburcio Alvarado, Fresno State Focus.
Don't let the lack of transportation stop you from voting. The city of Fresno and Clovis are offering free rides 4 days before Election Day. When you get in the bus, let the driver know that you are going to vote. While you're on the bus, you'll have time to pick up this guide and read and make sure you're ready for when you vote.
All year round, the flu is in season. Many want to avoid getting the flu by getting the flu shot. As Daisy Ramirez shows us, some are scared to get that shot and are just hoping they won't get sick.
Student Elena Gonzalez gets the flu shot every year. She says it makes her feel safer.
I did get it this year, so I feel like it has helped me, especially being in a new environment and being in the dorms and stuff.
The CDC says at least 22 million people caught the flu in the past year. 12,000 people died. 249 people died in the past 4 months in California alone. Still, some people are discouraged from getting the shot.
There's a lot of rumors and some conspiracies about flu shots. I hear a lot of people say that it may cause certain, disorders like autism, but that has been disproven, with studies.
Political science major Elizabeth Morales says the flu is a big medical problem and more people should learn about the flu.
Because that way we can stop the flu, and then maybe more people can get recovered if they do have the flu.
It is important to make sure to protect your health. If you choose to get a flu shot, there are many affordable options like free flu shot clinics during peak season. You could also check your local health department for more information on flu shots you can afford. Daisy Ramirez, Fresno State Focus.
Fresno State offers a free flu shot clinic for students every year in October. There are other places you can go if you're not a student. For more information about where you can go to get your flu shot, visit Fresno Department of Public Health.
Joining us today to talk about how we can tell the difference between the flu and coronavirus is health educator Leticia Berber from the Fresno County Department of Public Health. Thank you for being here, Leticia.
It's a pleasure, Myra. Thank you.
So there's been a lot of controversy and our nation's a little bit confused. San Francisco declared a state of emergency. The White House is saying everything's under control, and the CDC is saying the contrary, that we need to prepare for this pandemic. What do you think about that?
This is a new situation for Fresno County and for the entire world. So yes, we do need to prepare ourselves. Fresno County, as a public health department, we are a lead in this situation. We are monitoring this situation. We want to make sure that our community is educated on the coronavirus, this new novel coronaviruses, which is a new virus that we've never seen it before. It's a new situation for us. We're taking drastic measures to inform the community on how we can protect ourselves.
So how can we tell the difference between the flu and the coronavirus?
And that is a good question that a lot of people are asking right now, especially during this time of year. We have lots of viruses circulating. We have flu virus, we have coronaviruses, we have noroviruses, but right now we want to focus on the coronavirus, novel coronavirus, and the flu. The symptoms are very, very similar. Please educate yourself. Look on the CDC website for the symptoms. Fever, cough, weaknesses. If you have those symptoms, you may have the flu, you may have a coronavirus, which are circulating right now. But right now, the difference is the travel history that you may have. If you have traveled to China, come back with those symptoms, call your doctor immediately. If you haven't traveled to China, if you develop those symptoms, you may have the flu.
Okay. So can you tell me, how can we protect ourselves?
Yeah. First, get your flu. You want to take your same measures that you take during flu season. Get your flu vaccine. Stay healthy. Cover your sneeze, your coughs, and please wash your hands with soap and water. If soap and water is not available, use a hand sanitizer. Stay healthy, eat healthy, exercise. You want to maintain yourself healthy as you can during this season.
Sounds good. So just carry one of these around. Thank you so much for the valuable information, Leticia. It was a pleasure having you today.
Likewise.
We've been speaking with health educator Leticia Berber. Now, here's Carla with a special program at Lincoln Elementary.
School can be hard for anyone, but for a kid with special needs, it can be even harder. I visited Lincoln Elementary School in Sanger, where teachers and support staff are working hard to make the journey a little bit easier.
Oh, Katie Sue was one quick kid. She bolted quick as lightning.
Robin Berger is a 6th grade teacher at Lincoln Elementary School in Sanger.
I have an autistic son who was transferred to Sanger Unified when he was in kindergarten. Ms. Berger was his teacher after high school, 19. We still see Ms. Berger. We still give her a hug. We still show her lots of love.
We have students with autism. We have some students who have Down syndrome.
We have a couple students who have muscular dystrophy.
Berger's students learn the same skills as other sixth graders. It's the way she delivers the information to her students that is different.
Academically, we're preparing them for is the same. It's the same basic thing. You know, they're going to look at those goals. They're going to tailor their education to their specific needs.
Now that these students are sixth graders, they are preparing for the next step in their academic career, transitioning to middle school. The school psychologist Emily Fonseca tells us how that can be hard and scary for them.
People with autism typically are very, they like their routine. It's very hard when things change. So when they are used to something being one way or used to doing one thing and then have to transition to something else, that can be very difficult.
Fonseca and Berger work with the students and their families to make the transition smooth.
We set up transition meetings for the student and for the parents. We go over and they get to meet all the staff over at WAMS. They get to tour the campus. There's a huge rally, so the kids get to see all the kids who are going to come in as seventh graders.
It's so nice to see people making this world a better place for others. Back to you, Mayra.
It can be challenging finding proper medical care for many LGBTQ people in the Central Valley. Fresno's Economic Opportunities Commission released a new LGBTQ health survey to document the barriers they face in healthcare. The intention is to expand resources. The survey focuses on the disparities within medical care for LGBT people.
Their hardship, or every time they've had a bad experience with a provider, whether it's medical care or mental health care, that needs to be reflected in this survey.
To participate, you must be a Fresno County resident who is 18 or older and identified as LGBTQ. The EOC is offering an incentive to those who participate, and it can be picked up at the EOC office downtown. The survey is available on the EOC's Facebook page until June.
It is important to know gender identities and their differences. The Cross-Cultural and Gender Center held a workshop at the Henry Madden Library. People attended learned about terms used in the LGBTQ community and how to use them correctly. You can earn a certificate by completing the entire session.
Identities 101 and Gender 101, so it goes over the array of LGBTQ plus identities and experiences, as well as gender identities and experiences, and looking at like sexism, gender discrimination, the way that the gender spectrum works.
Medina says they do the workshop every semester, and it is open to all students, faculty, and community members.
It may be a distraction and messy and loud, but the construction of the new Resnick Student Union is coming along. Last week's groundbreaking ceremony welcomed hundreds of community members, students, and staff. Dean of Students Caroline Coons shared her excitement for the ceremony.
It's pretty amazing.
When two-thirds of students voted yes to the Resnick Student Union last year, the design and build team began working. Linda and Stuart Resnick donated the transformation gift of $10 million. They celebrated at the ceremony, which also showcased images of what the Resnick Student Union will look like. For a virtual tour of the building, visit the USU board office on the lower level of the Student Union.
Coming up in sports, we'll show you how Fresno State's new esports team is thriving.
Plus, if you're a student, you may or may not have realized that the main commencement is canceled. Stick around to find out where graduation ceremonies will be.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit up in my head. Up in my head to stay. I got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes. Hey, down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit all over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart, in my heart, deep in my heart, got that bulldog spirit.
Welcome back. I'm Henry Flores with your Focus on Sports. Fresno MMA fighter Paul Elizondo will be seeking redemption after losing his last fight. I talked with Elizondo at Halo Jiu-Jitsu Gym, where he trains.
Fresno MMA fighter Paul Elizondo Jr. is preparing for his next MMA bout.
I just coming off my first loss, so if I didn't have the fire before, I sure do have it now.
Elizondo trains at Halo Jiu-Jitsu in Fresno and has been training with MMA boxing coach Cruz, who has a list of UFC champions under his belt, such as Cain Velasquez and Daniel Cormier.
I see Paul getting his hand raised, I always vision that. I never vision anything else other than my fighter's hands getting raised.
Coming off of his first loss, Elizondo knows it won't be easy to get back in the winning column, and he is motivated to win not just for himself, but for the Halo Jiu-Jitsu Gym.
He actually just beat my training partner with this last event that we were in. So he's coming off of a win, and I'm coming off of a loss. So, he has the momentum, but I have the hunger, I feel.
Cruz knows he will have Elizondo fully prepared come the day of the fight.
15!
Yeah, Rudy Cruz is the man. Definitely gets my hands ready for war, and he brings more than just boxing into the MMA game. He brings how to switch up, how to incorporate my wrestling with the striking.
So we've been working on chain fighting, so going to get him to striking, to grappling, to wrestling. If the wrestling's not there, go back to grinding up against the cage. If the cage is not there, if that work's not there, separate and box again a little bit.
Elizondo does not plan to let this fight go the distance and is ready to finish his opponent.
I'd rather take him out and go eat dinner right after.
You can see Elizondo in action this Friday on the Combate America USA vs. Mexico card at the Save Mart Center. The leaders of the Women's Basketball Mountain West Conference are looking to close out their regular season tomorrow as they go on the road to face Wyoming. The Lady Bulldogs have a 16-1 record in the Mountain West. Their overall record is 23-5, and they will claim the regular season title in the Mountain West regardless of the outcome versus Wyoming tomorrow night. In Fresno State sports this week, the Diamond Dogs will host Columbia this Friday, followed by a doubleheader on Saturday. Also, Fresno State men's basketball will host Wyoming in their final game of the season on Friday. And the women's softball team will take their 5-game winning streak into the Judy Garmin Classic starting Friday against Illinois. Fresno State has a new esports program. The program launched last fall, and now students can take part in the collegiate competition. The program consists of 2 varsity teams competing with different PC games. The Overwatch team competes in TESPA, a collegiate esports organization. The League of Legends team competes in the Mountain West Conference. The program has already shown growth and benefits for both players and coaches.
The people I've met through it is probably, and playing competitively is fun, but the people, it helped me meet a lot of new people, and that's nice.
The players have dedicated a lot of their time to their teams and are looking to put all of their skills together to make the season successful. That's your Focus on Sports. Back to you, Kyle.
Thanks, Henry. It may only be February, but we're talking about graduation now. Here's why. Fresno State will not have the main commencement ceremony, but we're not alone. 21 other CSU campuses are doing the same thing, but not all spring graduates know about it yet. Last year, Fresno State broke the record with the largest graduating class in Fresno State history, but with over 6,200 graduates, only 703 showed up to walk. President Castro sent an email to graduating students to tell them about the change, but some seniors missed the memo.
I actually didn't even know at all that it was canceled, so. But now I guess that I know, I'm not super broken up about it, but knowing that it would have been canceled would have probably been kind of nice.
Many seniors say this announcement should have been more clear. Individual college ceremonies will be held on May 15th and 16th. Students can find the schedule on the Fresno State website under ceremonies.
We're excited about the new main commencement. We're wondering what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out when we graduate. Next week on Fresno State Focus, we'll show you how a small town motel transforms to help their community.
Plus, are you a parent and a Fresno State student? If so, we'll show you what free items you can get.
Also, we'll show you how a small fire made a costly difference at a church.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.